This story is about a soldier who dreamed of becoming a knight. His name is Encrid and is the protagonist of this story. During a battle, he got stabbed in his neck and died, but the next thing he knew, he was back on the morning of the same day. Every time he died, he came back to life and relived the same day. This continued until he defeated the enemy who killed him each time. If this piqued your interest, then enjoy the manhwa. We see our MC struggling on the battlefield. His enemy charges at him with his sword and stabs him in his neck. Blood begins to gush out of his neck like fountain. As a result, Encrid dies on the battlefield for the 17th time. In his final moments, he sees a purple alien-looking face telling him to accept his fate, give up, and stop trying. In the next moment, MC wakes up on the same day. Encrid tells his squad member, whose name is Rem, that there is a bug in his boot. Rem is a tall dude with muscular physique. Rem inspects his boot for bug and finds one. He then instantly smashes it with his foot and annoyingly asks why MC put the bug in there. MC tells him to shut up and he just saw it crawl in earlier. While walking out of the tent, Encrid thinks it is already the 18th time seeing the bug's corpse. MC can't help but remember that he has been practicing sword since he was a child. He learned swordsmanship from a retired mercenary who praised him and even said that he could become a knight someday. From this point onwards, Encrid began to dream about becoming a knight who could slay dozens of people and bring victory on the battlefield. With the goal of becoming a knight, he joined Mercenary Corps. There he was often laughed at and criticized by the members because of his lack of talent. There he realized that he had no special skill or talent, but still it did not break his spirit, and he continued to work hard and put in effort. He pushed himself to the limit. Encrid believed that he could make up for the lack of talent by sheer dedication and perseverance. As time progressed, he hunted wild monsters, gained experience, and became stronger. He hoped that he could now fulfill his dream. But all his hope came crashing down when he suffered defeat by the hands of a 12-year-old boy who had requested him a duel. He was frustrated and wondered if all his hard work was in vain. Nevertheless, he persisted in his training. He continued with his practice more than others and vowed to become a knight. After 3 years, he became a squad commander of a second-rate squad. At present time, he asks Jackson, this brown-haired dude, to do the morning duty in MC's place. Jackson agrees to do so, but in return, MC would have to repay him for it. Then Jackson left to fulfill the morning duty. Following that, Encrid asks Rem to teach him the Heart of the Beast technique once more. Rem is puzzled since Encrid gave up learning this technique the last time, and all of a sudden wants to learn it again. Every time MC is revived, he learns this technique. The Naulilia versus Aspen close combat battle began once again. He died in this battle several times and regressed back to relive the same day over and over again. Although he learned the Heart of the Beast technique, he still couldn't see the tip of the sword that stabbed him. Despite the fact that he learnt this technique, he was far from perfecting it. Today marks his 21st time on the same battlefield. He has memorized the repeating situation. Initially, he must evade the spear aimed at his back. Subsequently, he should be mindful of the impending attack from the guy behind him. Finally, after a while of utilizing his previous experience, he now faces off against the guy who always stabs him. As his enemy launches his sword at him, he dodges it. This was the first time he evaded his stab in his 21 tries, but immediately after got stabbed in his neck again. In his dying moment, he again sees this alien-looking dude who tells him to accept his weakness and give up. But RMC, having a will of iron, refuses to yield. After his death, he returned on the same morning. He is now determined more than ever to clear this hurdle. Currently, this is the 33rd time confronting the same enemy. He dodges the incoming sword stab, but unfortunately gets pierced in the neck. Meanwhile, the thread of the blue circular necklace gets severed. Therefore, the necklace falls on the ground. As he collapses, he recalls his time as a mercenary when he used to take on a few requests to subjugate monsters. On one such instance, he stumbled upon a random village where he was asked for help. The reason he decided to help them was because it was his dream to become a knight, and protecting the weak is a knight's duty. As a reward for helping them, a dubious old man wearing black cloak offered him the blue necklace. He called it a charm. Encrid wonders if this simple charm is the only reward he gets for risking his life. However, now as he was dying, he realizes this charm might not be so simple after all, since the reason for the repetition of the same day must be this very charm. In his last moments while MC was lying half dead, enemy soldier approaches him and offers to end his life quickly as an act of mercy. MC, in a last bit of struggle, sees him grinning. Encrid sees a look of pleasure on his face. It is pretty evident from his facial expression that he is a pervert who derives joy from killing people. Then he raises his long sword and stabs MC, ending his life. Once again, MC regressed back to life on the same day and informed Rem that he put a bug in his boot. Rem, perturbed, asked him if he finally lost his mind. Not wanting to waste any time, MC right away directs him to teach Heart of the Beast technique. Subsequently, they commence their sparring session. During the practice, Rem inquires, how has the skin of his heart suddenly gotten thicker? MC attributes it to his training. Rem was a bit doubtful, as it could not happen in such short duration of time. MC then proposes another training match, and Rem readily agrees. They continue their sparring session, and MC keeps on dodging all the blows, since the only sword technique he possesses is the Valen mercenary technique. It is a sword technique which a few speak ill of and call it petty trick. In the next instant, when Rem charges at him, Encrid instinctively imitates that pervert's stabbing technique. But still it was deflected. Encrid was stunned to see himself using that stabbing technique. Rem recounts that out of all the techniques he used, the last stabbing technique was the most decent one. Furthermore, he explains that MC is too doubtful of his attack. He advised Encrid to have a firm grip on the sword and not be hesitant. Although he explained it poorly, MC gets the point that the difference between his stab and that bastard stab is his lack of confidence while wielding the sword. MC must swing his sword with the intent to kill. Encrid keeps on polishing the technique. He proceeds with his training each time. Days pass by, and Encrid keeps on dying time after time. Finally, on his 124th day, he manages to perfect the pervert's stab technique.